I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is the
Family Showdown! Hello and welcome back to my top 100 games of all time 2022 edition. Today, Hunter and I are going to look at my 60 through 51, the best of the worst, as somebody I know likes to call it.
Don't steal my stick. I think I should get royalties for that statement.
It's just coming from the same to the same.
Yeah, this is the last of the crappy half. Hopefully it gets better after this.
When you see the games that are in here, I think you'll say otherwise.
We'll see.
I don't think you'll talk so much.
You've had a smattering of games I really like, but
well, this is very much a mixed bag. I see things that have dropped, I see things that have raised, and I see new games. New to the list.
There's so few new games. You said you had so many; they must all be up at the top.
That's what's kind of shocking. Yes, I have a lot in my top half this year, which is odd. That doesn't usually happen. So, let us go forth. My number 60 was my 75 last year. And it is the greatness that is Race for the Galaxy. There's two of the big ones. There's Race for the Galaxy and Roll for the Galaxy. This is Race for the Galaxy. This is the card-based game. It's got little cards and tiles in it. And you do that. You race for the galaxy. Okay, no, what you're doing in here is you've got kind of two types of resources, and you're building like kind of tech stuff and planet stuff loosely. They have terms, whatever. Anyway, what you're doing is you have those, and you're building up, and some of them are planets, and they produce goods and cool stuff like that. Then you've got other little tech things, and they do stuff, and you build those up, and first person to get to a certain number. It's kind of a race for the galaxy. You get where I'm going with this. Anyway, you're the first person to an X amount of victory points. Starts, the end of the game. Everybody finishes up, and then whoever has the most victory points wins the game. And everything that you're building, or most everything you're building, has some sort of point value attached to it. It's a pretty fun little engine builder. Get yourself going. You're selling stuff that your planets make, and you're visiting different places, and you're conquering things, and you're building up your little engine, all using cool cards. I love it. I love playing this game quite a bit. I played the app for this quite a bit. It's one of the very few app games that I played. I played it a lot, and we played the tar out of this when we first got it, too. Played this a lot. This is one of those games that when we first got it, also, it was a bit overwhelming because there are so many different symbols in this game. Like all the different emblems by the planets, because there's types of planets that produce goods, and there's like the war planets, and there's planets that produce a good at the start, but they don't produce anything afterwards, and there's this and that, and like all these symbols. And you feel like at first you're just staring at the rule book going, okay, which one is this again? It took a little while to get used to. It seems like most board games are a little bit better at that, or maybe we're just better at reading all of this craziness anymore. I'm not sure which it is. Maybe a combination of both. But it is much less overwhelming now that we're used to it. But the learning curve is pretty high. This might make it less popular than Roll for the Galaxy for a lot of people because of that very reason. So, sir, I know you like this game too.
No, I like this one. This is a good one. It's you definitely like it more than I do.
I like cards.
It's a good one. It's we recently taught this to, who was it? High school that I taught this to?
Might be, yeah.
I don't remember. Anyway, so we played this fairly recently, and it was much easier to jump back in, like she said, than in previous. This seems like as time goes by,
you remember them better, I guess, right?
It's quicker.
Yeah.
I think I kind of feel like rolls slightly more. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, this is a good one. It's a quick little card game. Plays what, 30 minutes? I'm guessing. Something.
Yeah, it's about 30 minutes to an hour.
Well, 30 for 2 players. But
2 players, you fly through it once you're used to the game. Absolutely,
it's a good one. We never bought any of the expansions for this one. We just played base game, and we're good with that.
Yeah,
it's all right.
I don't even know. I mean, do the expansions do much, or is it more of the same?
I don't know. I haven't really looked into it.
I
know there's one that does wars or something that a lot of people don't like. I don't
See, base game, all you need. Life is good. I'm happy to always tell that to people. So, my number 59 is new to the list. And it's
very excited. It's going to be something I love. I'm excited. Let's see.
He's being overly dramatic or something that you can tell by the small box. Hunter will not probably be that excited about. However, I am floriferous.
Very
pretty
have
flower.
To angle it so it's not glaring.
It's shiny, yeah.
Got a gloss cover.
This is one of those that's highly portable, amazing art, fun gameplay, easy to teach to people, easy to get to the table, all around great game. Floriferous is, I believe, isn't this part of the series with Herbaceous and all those, right?
Yeah. Same company.
It's like the same company and everything, and this is like the second in the line of it. But this one's all about the flowers instead of herbs. Fancy that. And in this one, you're going through and you'll have a layout of cards and you're picking one in each column as you go through. And you're trying to do different set collections and you're trying to get different little insects. And there's different types of flowers and there's shades of color. And again, the insects give you points. And then there's also like endgame victory point conditions, which are some combination of all the different things that you're collecting as you walk through this little flower garden. And it's just pretty. It's really pretty. It's fun to play. It's just really easy to teach. You just have a few rounds of that little back and forth and you're done. And you calculate all your victory points and there you go. I love it. It's just a beautiful game to look at. It always draws everybody's eyes to the table too. And it's just a simple little card game. It's nothing really super flashy or gimmicky about it or anything, except that it's absolutely stunning and light.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's a light game that doesn't overstay its welcome. It's pretty quick. It's a 15, 20-minute game, something like that.
A lot of people use it for a filler game.
Super easy to teach, like she said. Plays quickly. I like the balance between getting the cards that give you points and the cards that tell you how you score points. Kind of like point salads, it's similar, but this is more of a different drafting mechanism and stuff like that. It has, like you said, set collection, all kinds of fun stuff happening. But I can teach this game in like 3 minutes, so it's like it sets up really fast, easy to put away, portable, like she said.
It just kind of grows on you because you get to play it so easily. I love that about it.
It's not my kind of game, but it's so quick and it has some good decision making, so it's not too bad.
Exactly. And that's why it's new to the list. Leaped up quite a bit, too. My number 58 was my 57 last year.
You hate it now.
Yes, clearly. I was like, punish you. Or as Hunter says, punitation. And it is
Look at that. She uses my words now. Glenmore.
Glenmore 2. I don't know anything about Glenmore 1.
I don't either.
But Glenmore 2, pretty awesome stuff. So this is another one of those games where you've got a map and you're doing stuff on the map. Well, actually, there's kind of 2 maps going on because you got your map that you're doing stuff on and traveling around and putting things down and all that. But you also, in front of you, kind of have your own little map of things. Kind of building an engine as you're putting down tiles in front of you and giving yourself some little benefits and stuff. And but how you get those is one of my favorite things about this game. And I don't know why it just stays with me. But on the board where you're trying to get these tiles, the movement is such that you're moving and you kind of play almost like leapfrog or hopscotch or something as you're going across, and you kind of leap over empty spaces and people and stuff, and you don't go back. You always keep moving forward and going around the square, but you're picking up stuff as you go. I think is it Luxor kind of moves the same fashion. I think it is Luxor. One of those more recent games has something like that with the movement.
All the games have that where you move as far as you want, but then you can't go back.
Can't go back, and and I love the choices that you make because of that. And then you get your tile, hopefully the tile that you want, and you're placing it and doing all this stuff, and it helps you do this because of this, and like, the whole chain of events and stuff just is really, really smooth gameplay. I honestly really can't wait to get that to the table again and play me some more Glenmore. What is it, Scottish history or something? I don't even remember the theme as much, but
I don't speak German.
it's right here.
Oh. Can your clan leave the biggest impact on Scottish history?
There you go. Leave your impact
We
on Scottish
lead the
history.
clan from the early medieval ages until the 19th century.
There you go. And there you have it, as they say. That's you're marching through history. Although the theme kind of...
It's okay. It's got people in it that are from history and junk like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good one. I really enjoy this one.
Solid
That's
game.
another one I think you like a little more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
It hits the 90-minute sweet spot for us.
That's great 2-player.
What
I
did I
think
say?
it would be good at any player count, honestly.
Oh, it's the Glenmore too it's called Chronicles because there's little modules. That you can
that's right.
play.
Yeah, the modules.
There's 8 different little modules you can add into the game. We're slowly
Very
working our
slowly.
way through them, but we have a note in the box which ones we've done, and we're just kind of working our way through and noting which ones we like and don't like, and eventually if we make it through all the Chronicles in like 20 years, we'll know which
Right.
modules we like and don't like, and we'll play with those going forward. So it's a good one. It's mid to heavy Euro game. It has a cool mechanism where your workers, you kind of got to move your workers and spread them out on that map you're building to
that's true
activate
too.
stuff. So
Yeah.
it's kind of got, where do I put my workers and how do I organize things and
A
stuff
lot
like
of
that.
little puzzly bits to kind of work together. But again, it's so smooth. It's another one of those games that I really enjoy because it is smooth. It doesn't feel like the rules... You know how you get that kind of like, oh, it's this. Oh, I forgot about this exception and this and that. It doesn't have that feel to it at all. So
It's a good one. It's one of my faves, but again, like I said, I think you might like this one a little more.
I do. Maybe we should play it again and find out.
We probably should.
All right, this one's gone up, probably with more plays. It was my 90 before, and it's my 57.
Woo, you love it now. You love it now.
I love it now.
Oh. Yeah, I think we played it like once when you...
When I first ranked it, and then I was like, I really like this game. I think I like it more, and we played it some more, and I'm like, I really like this
I
game.
think this is yet another one you like a little bit more than I do.
Which is funny, because I thought this would be more your shtick, I think, but...
I don't know. Yeah. It's really good. It's in my top 100 somewhere. I don't know where it's going to land, but maybe probably around the same spot you have it. Probably.
Anno 1800 is great. It's another one of those, I think... No, it is a longer playtime.
No, it's a Martin
long.
Wallace beast. It's pretty long.
It's longer than I thought. It doesn't feel like it's that long, though, when you play it. So you start out... This is a hunter game where you start banging sticks together. And by the end, you're building skyscrapers, and I absolutely love that about the game. It's ramping up with these goods, and you're trying to fulfill basically like contracts with the people, the customers, and of course their tastes are changing because, all of the new things that are being developed and invented and cool stuff and trade goods coming in and this and that. So you start out again with just a few things, and you're starting to build your engine, and pretty soon those things become, you can build up and get more and more complicated items from that. And I love the way this game grows. It has that feeling where at first you're like, I don't know how I'm going to get anything accomplished with the stuff that I have. There's just so little here. What am I going to do? And then by the end, your turns are just fantastic. You're going through and you're like, okay, I get to do this, and this, and this, and this, and this chains, blah, blah, blah. It's got such a great just drive engine through this.
It's a good one.
I know you like this one. I was going to say, I'm curious, like...
I like the fact that you can kind of use your neighbor's stuff.
Yeah, you can for cheap, too. It's not too bad.
It's not too bad. You probably want to develop yourself, but it's not too bad to use other people's stuff. What I find interesting is you punish Tricarian because you use like a stick and a piece of wood and a feather, and you make a magic trick. But in this, you use like a pig, a stick, and a piece of rope, and you make a sewing machine. So I don't know why you're okay with that.
I don't know. I don't know. It works with this game. I don't know why I take it so literal.
I totally made up that combination. I'm sure it makes total sense. The 2 or 3 things you put together to make a sewing machine. But no, it's a good one. It is a brain burner puzzly kind of thing.
It is very puzzly.
It's interesting.
In the best way.
My favorite, the gimmick games I like have gimmicks. the gimmick of this game is you start off with a handful of workers, and you need those workers to power those things. So if you want to make a sewing machine, you have to put a worker on the pig, and put a worker on the stick, and put a worker on, what did I say the other thing was? Anyway, you put workers on all those,
A pig and a
and
stick.
you have a limited number of workers that you start out with, and
Yeah.
you can take more workers. You can just bring in the workers. You have to pay for them. The more
They get
advanced ones.
expensive.
But the thing is, every time you take a worker, you take another contract, and you're building the stack of contracts.
I didn't even mention
So
that.
if you keep taking workers, you're going to keep getting more and more contracts, and the end game's triggered by fulfilling all those contracts. So you don't want to get too far in the weeds and over.
That's what I guess is amazing to this, because you'd think with that, as soon as you read that to me in the rules, I was like, how? Okay, there's no way that that's going to work. Because as soon as you get, but all of a sudden, like I said, as you get that engine going, next thing you know, you're like, contract.
You don't need more workers, you just start fulfilling contracts.
You just fulfill those things and get rid of them so fast. But at first, it feels like, well, I just stuck my finger in the dike and here comes, the flood. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's almost got a pressure luck aspect in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, do I get another worker? Do I need one more worker? Okay, I do one more worker. Do
Oh,
I need another worker?
but look what I have on this contract.
Do I need to go one more worker?
Yeah, it's good.
It's really good. I like this game a lot. We need to probably play this one again.
We do. I really was kind of freaked out when we first played this because of that, to be honest, because I was like, how can I enjoy a game where I'm going to feel that constant pressure of, well, I need help. Oh, look, more work to do.
More workers, more work.
It worked out. So much. Okay, my next one. Wow, this is sad. This is a sad day. It was my 38. Now it's my 56. It's one of my favorite games.
The shine is off the paint.
I guess because we play it so much, and then now with all the expansions and stuff, it's almost suffering from the bloat.
Well, we got a big box coming someday when it actually fulfills. It's almost a year late at this point, but we got a big box coming someday.
It's that late now?
Yes.
Wow. Pursuit of Happiness. This just, for me, was like nostalgia, because this is what, as a kid, I wanted the game of life to be like. We'd always imagine like all this dramatic stuff, and all you're doing is rolling dice and moving your little car and stuff. We were always imagining, oh, we bought Uncle Joe's skunk farm, ha 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 ha, and all this weird stuff. And you're like, what the heck is happening with these? But in this, you really get to go do things and live the dream, and you find your dream job and blah, blah, blah. And you're doing all these crazy things. And then with the expansions, you have communities and you're joining different clubs or gangs. It depends on which direction you go with your life. There's like all these crazy things. You can work overtime and shorten your lifespan. Hey, the game says it. It's got to be true, right? There's stress levels you have to maintain, so you probably don't want to work too much. You don't want to play too hard and then end up being broke. There's a nice balance to your life that you want to maintain. And the whole time you're just, just following what you want to do. You could go and date somebody and get married and have kids, or you could go be a career you decide to do. Be a starving artist. Get that board game collection you always wanted, or one of creepy dolls. We always like to kind of weave the story as we go through and make the collections of whatever and buying our stuff and getting this. And oh goodness, Hunter got a motorcycle. He's getting wild and crazy. Just all of the fun stuff that happens in this game. There's so much with it. And you start out as like a kid and you don't really have much going on. You have some base like innate abilities or something. Usually like they have some asymmetrical stuff at the beginning to start you out. But you're just getting through school and things. So you're not old enough to get a job yet, and it works you through that to where, you're getting your career and stuff and your education and walks you through. And as you get older, you need to slow down on your working or you'll start aging really quickly. And I love the pacing of the game, and it really does take you through just like the old game of life does, until you go to Happy Acres Retirement or whatever it was called. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy the back and forth with it. And we, again, weave the story as we go. What are you looking up?
I'm just looking at all the crap we have for this thing.
We have so many expansions.
So we got
it's
the
fantastic.
base game, we got experiences, we got community, we got promos, we got friends, life goals, standalone jobs, pets, higher education,
I forgot
kids, single parents, inheritances. Oh, anyway.
Next, they're going to be doing taxes, and then it starts to lose its fun. I don't know.
Yeah, but if we set this thing up with everything, and we usually do play with everything,
It is a table
it is a lot of stuff. And the base game's fine, but we like doing everything because it's funny.
It is. It's just plain funny. It really is.
I like this one a lot. Again, this seems to be the theme of this one. I think you like this one quite a bit more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I do enjoy playing this one. Just sometimes we've almost got a bloat inertia with this thing now because it is like, okay, do we just play the base game? Can we pull the base game out of all this other stuff we have? Or
so much.
We're gonna play everything. Well, if we play everything, oh my gosh, it's gonna take me half an hour to set it up.
Yeah, it really does, and it sprawls all over the table just for 2 players.
Yeah, we definitely need the big box because this thing is chock-a-block full of stuff. I do have it bagged up mostly by expansion and promos, so it's easier to throw down. But
yeah,
it's a good one. I like it. It's one of those games where you're like you just want to do everything, but you can't.
Yes, it's so true because you do have to watch your happiness and stress levels. I mean, that's your primary drivers, and it'll get you. Try to do too much, just like life that way. So philosophical. All right. Then my number 55 was my 61.
Oh, you love it now.
Love it still. This is the best way to play Timeline, and that is with Timeline Challenge. It takes the little timeline games. If you've seen those, it's just a deck of cards, and it has a lot of them have themes like scientific discoveries, and so it'll have the invention of the polio vaccine. And it has the year that it happened on the back side of it. But what you're trying to do is you're putting them in order, chronological order, and everybody's got their own cards. And if it's the first person to run out of cards, then we'll get that. And the trick is if you screw up, then you take your card, discard it, but you get another card back. So you're still getting cards and you have to keep struggling through. Okay, so it's a very basic game, Timeline. But then Timeline Challenge takes it and makes an actual board game out of it. So on there, and it kind of reminds me of like the progression of, say, Trivial Pursuit or something. Trying to get your way, except it's kind of a spiral, getting your way into the center to get to the end. So each area has different little challenge points. One of them is it'll give you cards and you're guessing the chronological order of them. Or you might get 2 cards and you have to guess how many years separate those 2 events. It like mixes it up, makes it feel more like a game show. You can play with teams or individually this way. It really branches out what you can do with this cute, very basic little game of Timeline. We took all of our timelines, shuffled them together, and chucked them in with that because you can do that. And basically we store them all in there. They're all together now in one happy little box. One very full, happy little box.
Yeah, I just made a note on our sheet.
Is that what you put?
For years, I've been wanting to repackage this, but I always keep forgetting. Hopefully, I'll remember this time. The reason is
I fixed it recently, so it's not going to be as bad. It's usually pretty bad. It's already started. Oh, why'd you do that? Oh, you'd think that because it's a little bit recessed and you could put the board game on top of it that it would stop this, but it doesn't, especially if you do.
So I made a note. I'm going to bag this and throw away that lovely insert away in the garbage.
Yeah,
recycling. And
it's clearly not the best insert for this.
The insert is fine if you store it horizontal.
Oh, I was showing off. It's got little game pieces that remind me of Monopoly. You know how they have the cute little pieces? It's got an airplane and a rocket ship and a train, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. I don't know. It's a really fun, addictive game. We played it online with you guys before. It's a blast. I love this one. This is a great game. Like I said, group, individually. It goes pretty quickly. Can't beat it.
This one you definitely love a whole lot more than I do.
I don't know why.
I enjoy it. It's okay. It's more of a situational game, I guess.
I can see that.
It's a party game, but it's not for every group of people because you have to be people that love trivia because it's hardcore trivia stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a trivia party game, maybe ish. I don't know.
If you have friends that like Trivial Pursuit, you got the nerdy friends like that.
But it's
like
all
this.
history.
Basically, but like it has some that are like scientific discoveries or stuff like that. But it's all the dates. All the dates. You watch yourself.
It's fine. It's meh. Maybe meh plus. Meh. What's between meh and meh plus?
Well, you tell me. This is a new measurement system. You heard it here first.
Meh-ish.
Meh-ish.
Mesh.
I think
mesh.
Mesh.
I don't know. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right.
Mm-hmm. Come up with your own terms on your top 100. This nonsense is.
Well, all my top 100 are amazing. There's no meh in my top 100.
Okay. Speak for yourself, fool. So my number 54 is brand spanking new to the list.
What? Another new one?
Another new one.
I must love it.
You do, actually.
Ooh.
Watcha!
I'm surprised to see this on your list, to be honest.
Oh my gosh.
Your reception appeared to be lukewarm.
Well, look at the cover.
It's an amazing cover. I dressed up as this in our Halloween
You
thing.
did, actually, quite well. It looked really good. You were quite dapper. However, you are not on the cover. Sad-looking homeboy is. And you know what?
Homeboy?
He's kind of... It's the Industrial Revolution. It's kind of dirty, grimy, not much color to it. Blah. Not interested by the cover.
That's what it's about.
But yeah, if you don't... I mean, the theme, whatever. Honestly. The theme is whatever. But what you're doing is building your engine and, yeah, adding smoke to the sky and the tons, I guess, apparently, with all your factories. But I love the engine. This is the granddaddy of, like, engine builder kind of things. We know it's not the first one that does it, but it's the first one that kind of went back to basics. Like, that's what this game is. It's an engine builder. There's not really anything else that it does.
Yeah, there's a gimmick.
But there is a gimmick. And there's some cool bidding in this. One of the things I really like is the bidding. You have these little disc things that you use for bidding, and they're just for the bidding. They don't go away. You're not spending them per se. You have them every round. I really enjoyed that. And then the bidding system and how you bid and how you get things was really cool. I really enjoyed that. It's a little bit different than what we usually do with bidding in these games. I really liked that. And then, if I'm remembering correctly too, with Furnace, you can reorganize how you want to run your engine.
It depends on, I think there's two versions.
I think the version we
there's
played.
the basic version where you can reorganize that. I think there's like a hardcore, you only put them at the ends.
I wanted to ask you about that.
I think there's a variant.
So here's the cool thing with these bidding things. You have different, see, like this one here.
Yeah,
there's a one.
It's a variant.
Is it a variant? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go into that in a second. So the bidding pieces, you got this like this. You have like these different sized discs. And what's cool about them is obviously the biggest number is going to win. Well, you may not want to necessarily win the card because if you bid on it and you don't win, you get some of the goods or an ability off of that card. So there's like a twofold strategy to the bidding. And sometimes it'll backfire and you end up getting a card when you just wanted a resource or something. But you're still getting some cool stuff from it, right? I love that because now you could really, really, really want that card. I can let him have it if I just need some of the goods off of it. I think that's really cool ability. And I'm not losing my bidding chips. It's not costing me anything. And then the variants, the fact that there's variants. You can do the hardcore version where how they're laid out, how you get them in the order, that's going to stay.
You can put them left to right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, left to right of where
Left
you have
to
it.
right. You can't move anything.
Nothing in the center. I mean, it is stuck. Or there's the other one. Before you start firing everything off, you can reorganize it a little bit, and then it fires off. Wow, that's so cool. I love that because, man, once you start to figure that out, you can just, everything's firing off and getting these goods that later on you're going to use for something else. So you have like this chain reaction going and you just keep building and building and building until you have a giant furnace.
No.
Okay, maybe not. I don't know why they
More of an assembly line.
It is. It's a giant assembly line. It's amazing. So furnace, engine building greatness. I don't know why it's so strangely addictive, but it's very satisfying, right? You
Yes.
get through and it's just have everything fire off. You have all the resources you need to get everything done by the end, and then boom, chain of victory points cometh your way. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's a good one. I finally one I probably like more than you. This one is really cool for all the reasons you said, and I do love the fact that it's the type of puzzle I enjoy.
Yeah.
What I call logistical puzzles is like, okay,
Very
this
much.
thing produces this good. Oh wait, but if it produces that good, then I can get this good over here. And wait, I need that good for this card over here, but that card also needs this other good. Oh, I need to put this one in between. So you're sitting here organizing your cards so that you get the most efficient chain of events to eventually spit out resources and victory points and all sorts of fun stuff. In addition to that, there is everyone has a leader card that has like a game-breaking superpower that's really cool. Like one gets an extra bidding token. I mean, they're really powerful.
I love
leader
game breakers
cards. I
like
assume
that.
I hope Arcane Wonders comes out with more expansions, with more leaders and more cards, because it's not quite a micro game, but it almost feels that way because there's so few cards, so few components, so
Yes.
few everything. It almost feels. I mean, I bet this box is probably.
It's mostly
It's
presence
it's
and
mostly
filler
air.
space. Yeah,
I mean, the insert is taking up
most of the space.
I mean, the insert is not even. It's underneath, but it's mostly air.
It is.
I mean, you probably could take these components and condense it down to probably
this would fit in a quiver.
a third of the box.
Yeah.
It's really not much to it. But what I'm saying is that it feels like a micro game in a way, so there's room to get more cards. It's just I think there's going to have to be a lot of development on those cards because the way they interact
is amazing.
is very important. So it'd be really you have to balance it out, right? They'd almost have to put like an alternate set. I don't think they could just inject a few cards into the.
I don't know, man. It's amazing to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some of the developing
Anyway,
that people.
I
do.
love this game. It's quick. For us, it's about a half-hour game. Easy setup. Like I said, 'cause there's so few components.
Yeah, and it just
Fun.
starts out another one that starts out really small, and you develop into this really big, huge chain.
Yeah, we
really
tried
good.
this out at Board Game Geek Con last year, and we just sat down and learned it in I learned it in like 5 minutes.
Oh my
and
gosh.
we were done. Half hour later.
Actually, I
We're
think we
done.
played it. Didn't we play it twice in a row because we liked it
Yes,
so
we
much?
played it twice.
We were like, let's play this
Well,
again.
first time we played without the leaders,
Okay,
and then we played with the leaders. So I think that leaders is a variant too. I want to say maybe. Or
probably.
they suggest the first time you play not to use the leaders. I don't know. Yes, as you're playing for the first time, play without the capitalist cards, which I believe are the leaders. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Amazing.
we played it. We're like, oh, we want to try the leaders out. So we did that. But yeah, this is a good one. If you like engine building, this is kind of bare bones. Engine building, bidding, card drafting, all that.
Last year card drafting, I didn't include that.
It's a good one. Furnace. And this cover's fine. I don't care what anyone says. It's fine.
So, you ready for this? My number 53 is also new.
What? Is it another one I like?
Yes.
Nice.
And it's one that we need to finish playing all the things because I want to play every single person. We've traded several times and played different people.
Yeah, I think we played 4
And
each. I think we played this 4 times
Merchants
at this point.
Cove. This has been a very polarizing game for a lot of people because people either love this or hate this game. I love it because you have your game days and you always have people that have their favorite kind of mechanisms, and everybody, I don't want to play worker placement game, and we're like, that's our favorite mechanism. What are you talking about? Well, everybody can be happy with Merchants Code because everybody can play the same game, but be doing different things to achieve the same ultimate goals. And I love it. So you have this one dude, and he is a worker placement guy, and then you have another one that's like kind of like a little roll and write game, and then everybody's got a different mechanism that is the focus, but ultimately they're trying to sell their stuff and get victory points from it. I mean, that's the end goal. How they get about it get to that point, completely different methods. So, that being said, teaching this, I do not envy you because you spend the time and you have to go around, okay, everyone has to know how how you work, what's the end goal to the game. So everybody's going to be doing different things. So that teach is going to take longer. But if everybody pays attention, it'd be really easy to just turn around and play this game again and everybody swap characters or something. It is so much fun. I love exploring the different characters every time. Like, Hunter said, we've been playing them, trying to do a different one each time and testing out and see which one we like the best. I'm having a blast with this. There's one that's kind of like, oh my gosh, what's the potion explosion? It's got like a baby potion explosion game going on it. I had the roll and write one where she was a like fortune teller and she'd throw like bones and stuff into a thing, and then what happens is it kind of guides what actions I can take. And the worker placement dude was really fun. And I don't know, it's just everybody's got their own little flavor and their different techniques, and again, ultimately you're just trying to sell your stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, this one's really good. It's not as bad to teach as you would think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because
that's happy for me.
You
I like
explain the main board. This is what we're all going to be producing goods. This is what you do when it produces the goods. This is how the main board works. Then you just teach everyone, okay, you're going to roll dice and put your dice here, and that's how you produce your goods. And it is a little harder because you teach the main game, which doesn't take too long, but then you got a separate teach for every person. If they're gamery and they're used to playing heavy games, you can probably just give them their pamphlet and say, hey, read this and let me know if you have any questions. But the person teaching the game needs to be familiar with all of the different classes for the most part. It's a good one. I love this one. It's one of my favorites. I like the theme of adventurers coming to town and buying goods and stuff like that. And there's almost like, if you ever played Imhotep, there's almost like a playing chicken with the boat. So you're loading adventures on the boat, and once the boat's full, then it docks. And you may want to have it dock at a certain spot or not a certain spot based on, you're producing all these goods, and you're like, well, I need them to come to this dock or they won't buy the goods I'm producing. So, and there's superpowers you can get. There's all sorts. It's an awesome game. I love the theme of it. It feels like it's got that very fantasy D&D adventurers going to town and buying gear before they go out on another adventure feeling to it. All the characters, like you said, play completely different. You can ask a person what their favorite type of game is. You want to play the Dragon Rancher person because they do this mechanism. Like I said, I want to go through all of them. I think we've got a couple more each left to do before we get through all of them. I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's much higher up on my list.
Wow, that's cool. That's really cool.
I just like like I said, it's my style of game. It's fun. It's got some interaction with the boats, and some people don't like it because it feels gimmicky, and the fact that everyone's playing a little different game, and it doesn't matter that she's playing a roll and write. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But some people are like, oh, it's the game. The base game isn't the actual game on the board isn't that interesting. It's everyone's players, and I don't know what you're doing because you're doing your own thing. But I love it. There's definitely some characters I like better than others because I like some mechanisms better than others. So
it's truth.
Love it.
I think we're going to be seeing this one on Hunter's list.
Merchant Cove.
So this one has a little interesting.
Gotta go your way.
Oh, that's fine. This one has a little interesting side note to it because since we've made this list, we have played this game.
Oh, what?
You know what though? I'm thinking it's probably pretty close to where it should be. It dropped from my 33 to my 52. But I don't know. I think it's in a pretty good spot. And that is the game of, oh my gosh, this thing is so dense now.
It's got several boards now.
Yeah, and this is the box cover we're keeping right now is Concordia Salsa, which is the salt one, which again, the cover, okay, this is one of the infamous covers. The original one has the girl that everyone makes fun of is like holding a basket of grapes or something. This one, I don't know why this cracks me up. Dude's on a beach entirely covered with sand, and this guy's trying to sell him some of it. I don't know why it cracks me up. Yes, it's salt. He's just like, hey, you want my salt? And he's like, dude, there's a whole beach of salt here.
This boat could just land over here and just take
all the salt. And this guy's like, but dude, my salt.
Maybe he refines it in some way.
I don't know. But I just found it funny.
Maybe he has the best. Maybe this salt here is the purest salt.
Is this the best salt?
This is crappy salt over here.
Is that what it is?
Better salt here.
Yeah. I don't know. And he's got the monopoly on it. We don't know. There's a story here, though. But this is cool. We really like the salsa expansion with this one. This is another game that we really loved so much that it took us a while to want to get the expansion. We're like, do we want to change this game? It's pretty perfect. This is the quintessential trading in the Mediterranean game. When people think of that, a lot of times they're thinking of Concordia. Salsa, what it adds to that is salt. It's a new resource into the game, and it's wild. It's kind of exciting, but not entirely necessary. If you like the base game, you don't necessarily need salsa, but it is really fun enrichment if you play the game a lot, kind of to mix it up. What we did this most recently is we were given some really cool, like a different board, Britannia. And so we played the 2-player side of the Britannia map with the Concordia and the Salsa expansion and had a blast with it. It was a much tighter map than the whole Mediterranean area. It was interesting because it being Britain, of course, all the boats only go around the very outside of it, and there's inner workings in the island you got to take your people through. And so your movement's a little bit different than it was on the other map. And there's some places that you think you can get to easily, and then you really look at it and you're like, oh, my boat just skips over that area. I have to go by foot, or, or vice versa. And so you're going through and you kind of need to look at it and pay a little better attention. You think you know the map and you don't. The resources are great with this. Part of what is so appealing to this, besides all the fun little clunky resources, though, you have your little player board and you have X amount of storage space for all of these things. So you're balancing that out. You want to spend those goods to get other stuff. And card play is what I really enjoy. So you start out with your own hand. I guess, what would you call this? Hand management? Because it's not really deck building.
Deck building aspect to it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Ish.
Yeah. And you have a standard set of actions that you get to do. Some buy cards from the bank, or get one card is get all your cards back that you've played. Pretty standard fare. But in the card shop, ye old card shop, you have some more abilities and stuff that you can get. And like I got a really cool superpower this time around through my diplomat I could use. Normally your diplomat will mimic, say the last card Hunter played was really cool and I liked that, but I maybe already spent my card. I can use my diplomat and just copy his card. Well, this one made my diplomat mimic either his or any card that was up for sale. So I could mimic abilities that I didn't even necessarily have yet. That was so powerful. I was able to really take advantage of that. For example, there's a merchant card that you get standard in your deck that gives you 3 coins, and then you get to do some merchanty stuff. Cool, whatever. Well, there was a card in the shop that gives you 5 coins, and then lets you do some cool stuff. Well, it's funny how when you do that over and over, you get these extra 2 coins here, 2 coins there. Pretty soon you're rich and able to do a bunch of different things. Buy your little houses on the map, all that kind of good stuff. It worked out really well. And I like, just, again, you had different superpowers from me. I don't know. There was just a lot of really fun play behind that. And again, you're just trading in the Mediterranean. You're building up your stuff. You're trying to get one region or another to produce your goods. So you have more goods to put in here. And then you're spending your goods to put more houses down. Just Euro-y goodness. Lots of just straight up Euro. And this is another one. What is this? 90-minute game?
Yeah.
I think this is, again, since it is the quintessential trading in the Mediterranean.
Yep, 9 minutes.
There you go. I think I like this one more than you, though.
You do. I do. I love this game. It's one of my favorites. It's probably on my list, probably a little further down the street. I do love this also expansion for the Wild Good is okay, but what you're talking about, those superpowers that we got.
Oh my gosh, those are so much fun.
Those are called forum cards, and it comes in the Salsa expansion. You get a superpower to start the game with, and then each time you take all your cards back, normally you get money, and you get to do like build a colonist or whatever. Additionally, with the expansion, you can go and get a forum card that gives you another superpower. So you're getting more and more superpowers, or one-shot benefits that are really powerful as well. So Salsa adds a lot to the game and a lot that we enjoy, obviously. So it's a good one. I love the Britannia map.
That was really cool.
The infamous Ankh Master Paul gifted that to us, and we finally got to play it. And I think that's
very cool, Paul.
I think that's probably the one we're going to play.
Yeah.
From now on.
Yeah, maybe every once in a while I want to go back to the
No
original.
one likes Italy. Hi, Italy.
Wow. Please send your emails to no.
boxes.
You already messed it up. No.
No, it's
We strategically had laid everything flat.
because it lays
With
vertically.
the extra map, it's very full now.
It's chock-a-block.
It's
Choco-block. Chocobo full.
Isn't that from Zelda? Okay, anyway.
Chocoboo. Chocobo. Chock-a-block.
Okay, I know
Gordy
Hunter's
is
gonna
great.
like.
It's a good one.
I know you're gonna like my 51.
Well, if it's 51, then it shouldn't be higher than if I'm gonna like it.
Probably. You're gonna say that. You're probably gonna say, and I quote, "It's criminally low." It was my 49 last year. It's my 51 this year. Although who knows? Hunter may be sick of it by now. Because you played it in the World Series of Poker. Board gaming. Dune Imperium.
I just have one thing to say.
What?
This is criminally low.
I knew it. Yes.
I think this is in my top 10, maybe.
Yeah.
It's way up there.
I
love this game a lot.
It's
A
so
lot. We haven't even
good.
played the old expansion. Now there's another expansion coming out.
What? Well, yeah, we put it off because you
We've
were
been
playing
playing
the
the
base
base game
game
to practice.
for that. So, ooh, I'm excited. This is worker placement greatness, resource management, little bit of military action going on over here. You know, getting your spice and your victory points over there. Oh, this is such a good game. You got asymmetrical powers going on with the different houses. Depending on who you're playing, you have different abilities. It's okay. I absolutely enjoy playing this, even when I was getting completely schooled by, Mr. World Series beast over here.
I wasn't a beast. I almost won. I would have won if I had more time.
Yeah,
that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But that last time we played this, though, you did really well. You played your best game ever last time we played this.
You've been like training me. You're like getting me to like keep up with you now and stuff. I was actually getting pretty competitive. It's oh my gosh. So I just love all the choices. Everything's so good. You've got like on the side, you've got little mini ladders that you climb up for each of the different abilities that you're doing and stuff. Like you're going over to get water. Well, every time you go to do that, you kind of climb up this ladder, and eventually you can get some cool victory points and stuff from it. And it's just so many things chain off of it. So why exactly is this like one of your faves? Like, what is it about this that really just clicked for you? I'm curious.
All right. So here you go.
Okay, because I'm curious.
1, worker
Yes.
placement.
Yeah. Okay.
2, deck building. To a lesser extent, I like deck building. 3, deterministic combat.
I'm kind of mad on that. I mean, I'm like, okay, but this one is really cool.
Then you have a race for points. So it's not just accumulate points. It's get points as quickly and as efficiently as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Hidden information. I love that.
Okay.
So good. This game's so good.
You have like good 5-6 things.
So good.
I definitely.
It's one of my favorites. If it's not in my top 10, it's like right on the doorstep of my top 10. I love it. It's just,
man.
Just my kind of game. I mean, a lot of people compare this to Lost Ruins of Arnak, and I do enjoy that game as well. This one just has so many more things that I enjoy. Arnak is basically point salad with a focus mainly. It seems like you get most of your points from climbing that temple track.
That's true.
This one is do whatever I can to get points. Do I go up the faction tracks? Do I win combats? Do I buy the high point victory cards?
Yeah.
And it seems like I think in the base game it's 10 points based on the number of players. I think it might change a little bit, but it's like points are at a premium. Anything you can do to get a point is so valuable.
The spice must flow.
And in the Arnak, it's like I can get points here, and I do this, I get some points over here, I get some points, and here's some more points over here. This one's like when a person scores a point, and if they score 2 points in one turn, you're like, what just happened?
Yeah,
it's
earth shattering.
So cool.
Galaxy shattering.
And we got the deluxe version with all the minis and all the cool extra bits and
nerdy greatness.
So good. And Dune's one of my favorite IPs, so you add that on top of all of it. So good.
Yeah, it's interesting because I didn't like comparing the two because they felt so different, like with the themes and everything. But I've noticed Dune has gone like this. It's risen above because my Lost Ruins of Arnak is down in like the 80s now. It's just, and I think part of it is because you love this so much. I mean, it's contagious, right?
It is contagious.
I love it.
So good.
It's a really good game.
Now I get to play with the whatever the expansion is. I don't even know what it is. It's been sitting on my shelf for like 3 years. I don't even see it over there.
It's over there somewhere, just mocking you.
Yeah, I know.
Mocking,
so sad.
Just making faces.
One of the best games ever.
My 51st favorite game. So it's the 51st best game.
I think you need to chop your list in half. Move this up to the top. And move
Oh,
the top down to the
no.
bottom.
No, you just wait because the best is yet to come because I have 50 games. So hang tight to see what they are. We'll see you next time.
I'm Nessa.
I'm Katie. I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is the
Family Showdown!